There's one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we got
Hey, let's go with some saltwater fishing competition. Let's go with the best kind there is with the best anglers in the business. Get ready for the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup. We're about to see how it all went down in this just completed 2006 season, starting here on the beaches of Florida. A ton of fishing on the way today. If you've seen our show before, you know how it happens. Two anglers out there battling for 8 hours, trying to find the two perfect redfish. It's a tremendous combination. We got a bunch of anglers ready to get this season underway as we go down there. There's Tampa Bay, and just up the beach there in west coast of Florida is Clearwater. That's going to be our headquarters. From there, you can go a long, long way in search of those reds. We can't wait to get going. One of the reasons I can't wait for the season to get started is this guy right here. We welcome Mark Zona into the analyst chair.
Actually, Tommy, I refer to myself now as the Italian fly. Okay, of saltwater fishing. And check this out, Tommy. I brought a posse today. 269, right up there.
I had no idea you'd bring the posse.
It's amazing.
Fantastic.
Tommy, I've got big-time notes here. But more than anything, I'm excited to do this. I'm kind of leaving the bass fishing world for a little bit. And I've learned that in red fishing, there's so many more dynamics at play. Probably the biggest one is what we're going to see here today in Clearwater is these guys can go wherever they want, up the coast, down the coast. In bass fishing, they're contained. There's a lake. You really can't go outside that lake. But in this, it's anything goes, and we're really going to see that play today.
A lot more stories because of that fact right there. They got a lot of different playing fields as well. The different areas of the Gulf Coast we go to, different types of fishing, some of the toughest coming up in Florida.
Well, you know what? Of all the tournaments this year, this tournament, Clearwater, is going to be the toughest event of the year. Not a lot of fish catches, but it sets up for a great tournament come the end of the game.
Also a different dynamic with two guys in the boat, right?
Tommy, we'll get into that a little later in the day.
Working together, sometimes not working together. It's always something at one of our tournaments here. Last year, this time at Clearwater, well, it was something. It was a hurricane on the way.
We're trying to get this tournament in before Hurricane Wilma comes to visit.
Well, here is our storm getting very, very close to Cozumel. Again, the winds right now, 150 miles per hour, moving northwest at 6 miles per hour.
Well, we got a little hurricane brewing, head away. I'm glad I'm in that big boat because I'm fixing to head right into the teeth of the hurricane.
Well, a tournament shortened from 3 days to 2 days, that can get inside of the minds of a team of fishermen, but not the team of Chuck and C.J. Howard. The boys from Texas took the top spot last season in Clearwater, and another Texas team running up in second place there, Jim Franklin, Blaine Fryermood, and this would be a sign of things to come.
How about a hand for Blaine Fryermood and Jim Franklin, your South Padre champions?
Franklin and Fryermood had the big double at the end of the season, locking up the Team of the Year title and winning the championship at South Padre Island. But after the celebrating was over, well, here's the reality. Not all partnerships, even successful ones, go on forever. Franklin and Fryermood agree to disagree. They split up the team, and they're back with different partners this year. We'll still be watching them. A lot of talent there. Others to watch. How about this pair? Craig Johnson and John Oakes. These two anglers from the state of Florida have definitely got the touch in these clean, pressured waters.
That's the start.
The boats are ready. The baits are tied on, and we're almost ready to send them off and get this 2006 season underway. Let's take a look at the rules, the way we conduct the competition, the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup. First of all, it's a team competition.
Definitely, Tommy. It's literally a marriage. You could be two of the best fishermen on the planet. If you're not working as one, game over.
8 hours to fish, and there's a lot can happen in 8 hours.
Well, that's what we talked about at the top of the show. You have so many decisions to make on the water. Short runs, long runs, the playing field is huge.
Only 2 fish.
Well, yeah, and then not only that, you're looking for the perfect fish. You're looking for a fish just under the maximum slot length, okay? It's not like bass fishing. In bass fishing, you're looking for the biggest fish possible. This one, you're looking for the perfect fish.
In this case, in Florida, that slot length is 27 inches. They have to be below 27 inches. Okay, they're going to fish all day. They'll fish for 2 days, try to get the top 5 weights, and only the top 5 will fish on day number 3. And on that third and final day, they don't get to keep the weight they've accumulated. We will take it from 0 for each of the 5 teams. Well, the fishing on day number 1 comes to a close. No hurricanes this time around, near perfect weather, and a lot of the teams finding some success. An important thing to note is that 4 of the top 5 teams here at the weigh-in fishing the same school of fish. We will keep very close eyes on that. Of course, that's going to be what we're focusing on when we look at round number 2 of the competition. And guess who's competing in the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup this time around? Do you recognize the guy on the left? The left right there. Of course, I think anyone who watches fishing shows throughout
anywhere there's water.
Would you just stop for a second? Just stop. Let the man talk.
When I'm not doing any bass fishing, I'm either at Charlotte Harbor or I'm in the Keys doing all this red fishing and snook fishing.
All right, Roland Martin won more Angler of the Year titles than anyone in the history of bass fishing, now bringing his talents over here to the redfish side. Of course, as he said, he's lived down in Florida for years. He's done this for years. He ought to be pretty good at it, right?
Well, definitely. And the most amazing thing we're going to see today is so many leaders right now going into day 2 on one school of fish.
Boy, we need to talk about that. Of course, Greg DeVault fishing with John Turner this year, the team on top, but not by much. They're bunched in there pretty well. And those top 4 teams, well, fishing that one school of fish. These guys have sort of rules of conduct. Does everyone abide by them?
Well, the biggest thing is try to get along, and more than anything, we're going to talk about it later, try not to break that school up.
All right, day 2 fishing is on the way. These fish, as we say, very fickle down here in the Clearwater, Florida area. A school that's there one day may not be there the next day. We'll see if it pays off, this single school of fish, for all those leaders when we come back in just a moment.
The Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup, presented by Frog Tongs, is powered by Oh Boy Oberto Beef Jerky. Taste what's real. It better be Oberto. And brought to you by Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. And by Triton Boats. We take America fishing.
Hey, we're back in Clearwater and ready to go. Oh, no, Pirates?
Tommy, I love Pirates.
Oh, no, it's okay. Buccaneers, remember where we are. Clearwater, Florida, day 2 of the first event of the season for the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup. We got a full field fishing on this second day. After the second day, we'll cut them down to 5 who will fish for the championship on the final day. There's your day 1 leaderboard. I think the thing to keep in mind is the fact that 4 out of these 5 teams are fishing the same school of fish. Could that be?
Definitely, Tommy. And there are thousands of fish in this school, but the one thing you hit on, we are in Clearwater. These fish are very, very pressured. You're going to want to do 2 things when you come into an area that has a school like this. Number 1, play well with your neighbors. Get along with the boats around you. Number 2, don't make a lot of noise. You don't want to get these fish wired out where they'll just shut down.
A lot of these guys on a lot of these teams will tell you they don't even want to mess with schooling fish. That's too many eyes that can see. If one fish makes you and the whole field runs away.
As long as everybody works good together like we did yesterday, there should be a lot of fish caught.
Where we're going, it's going to be a big flat, and there's going to be a little key, a little island outside of where we're fishing.
6 of the top 7 are on those fish.
We're kind of a crowded place. There'll be another 10 boats there, but we worked good yesterday. That's one thing I can say about this group. We all work together.
We had a lot of boats on them yesterday, and everybody's trying to come in here to catch them, but right now, it's early. As in yesterday, when the water gets up above that oyster rock over there, then these fish have a tendency of balling up a little bit better and settling off in some of these depressions that are back this way. And if the boats stay away from them and allow them to get in there, we can get them to circling. And by 1 o'clock yesterday, we had a good bite going on with them.
I have a feeling that today we are going to get a good basic fishing a school 101, and the tide's a factor as well, right?
Definitely, Tommy. When the tide is low, these fish are sitting in trenches, potholes, and drains, and they're waiting for that tide to come up. And what's going to happen is when that tide comes up, these massive schools of redfish, they're going to come up onto these flats where they're completely susceptible to being caught by the anglers.
All right, now is it kind of a lottery? I mean, all these guys waiting for one thing to happen, the team that has the most success. I mean, can they make that happen?
Well, sure. Here's the biggest thing is getting these fish to somehow react to what you're doing. Now, if they get jumpy, if they get wired out, they will not bite.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is about how many boats we started with yesterday.
They're right, some right here.
Here they are right there, raised right up in front of them.
What's this coming? Is this red? Yeah, they're right here at us, Greg. Look.
They're right behind us, they're right behind us, they're right behind us.
There must be 1,000 in there.
You know, this is almost more like hunting than it is fishing. Because you're on sight of the fish almost all the time. And when you're not on sight of them, you're not going to catch them.
They're going to the left right there. Get them. I see them. Look at them. They're way out in front of them.
Right here, Greg. Look.
Yeah, I see him. There's some
right here in front of the boat.
I
Look
see
at
him.
them right here in front of the freaking boat.
Where'd they go? They're all right here. They're all right here. They're right here by the boat.
Look at them all right here.
Hit my line. Hit my line.
Oh, boom. Hit my line. Hit my line.
When the school of redfish are hitting your line, that's as close as you can come.
Got it. That boy, John.
Yeah, he ain't even close.
No. Maybe they aren't. Oh, flop fish. All right, 30 inches. That's the number, right? He's a perfect 30-inch fish, John. There's about 1,000 of them out there just like him. We need 2.
Okay, we just got a little taste of the most painful part of redfish competition in the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup, the fish that is too large to put in the live well.
This is so similar to smallmouth fishing. I know that sounds crazy, but you can get on a school like this where there are thousands and thousands of fish, and usually the first day, you just wail on them. But something happens going into the second day. When there's that many boats overnight, the whole school will shut down.
Hey, it certainly happened on day number 2 here in Clearwater. None of those teams, incredibly, able to bring a keeper back to the weigh-in stand. Things will turn around on that leaderboard. Scott Guthrie and Rick Murphy, whom we just saw there with 10 pounds. How about this team? Craig Johnson and John Oakes, over 11 pounds of redfish. First time we've ever had Tom Fragamini and Mike Imrasek in a finals at a Redfish Cup event. Jeff Page.
No. Jeff Page, Ed Zayek. Jeff Page is my guy today, Tommy, all day.
You can take Jeff today. All right, Ben Alderman, Ronnie Pitts, there's your team from out of state. Could they be the spoilers again this year for this team down here in Clearwater, Florida? Once again, take a look at your top 5 qualifiers. Those are the only guys who'll be out fishing on day number 3, championship day, and their weights will be taken down to 0. Everyone starts from the same baseline. We'll see who's got it together for one more day of trying to corral these Clearwater redfish and get things going. The weather conditions are predicted to change. That could impact all the strategies, a lot of travel strategies as well. We'll sort it all out when we come back.
It's not going to be as bad. It's 30 minutes more fishing.
You think that's going to make it or break it?
The Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup event number 1 of the season. We're down here in Clearwater, Florida. We have reached the 3rd and final day of the competition here. We started out with a bunch of teams all looking toward the end of the season, all trying to make it to the season-ending championship. But on this final day, only 5 will be able to shoot for the top points. 5 teams have qualified, including a pair from South Carolina atop the list. Below them, it's Florida all the way. So we'll have some interesting matchups out there on the water today as we look at, and we talked about this earlier, Mark Zono, you mentioned the dynamic of being able to go everywhere. That's a curse, also a blessing, right?
Well, you know, the whole thing, Tommy, it comes down to decisions. Making the right decision and possibly making the wrong decision. And what a lot of people at home that might not fish tournaments don't know is some of these guys are running 3.5 hours to only fish for 30 minutes. We've seen different teams throughout the past few years win tournaments only fishing for 20 minutes of the entire day. Now, that being said, there are tons of risks that go along with doing this. Sure. You can have a breakdown. You can get to your spot, and there's tons of locals sitting there.
Well, what about when you get there and someone in that tournament, one of these 5 qualifiers is there before you? What goes on inside your mind?
Well, that all turns into a head game right there, and you got to keep your composure and keep things together. You know, growing up fishing Lake Erie, you can kind of correlate the two together. That's very similar. Making long runs have huge rewards. If you go to these areas, they produce for you, but many things can happen.
All right, as you say, it's all about the decision making.
Right.
One of our teams right now has got a huge decision to make right now regarding getting to their fish. Rick Murphy and Scott Guthrie are talking it out.
Make it make sense.
It's not going to be as
30
bad.
minutes makes a difference for us. Does
30,
it? If it does, then yeah. If it doesn't, then it's stupid.
You want 30 minutes more fishing. That's what it is. It's 30 minutes more fishing.
You think that's going to make it or break it?
I think it could. I think there's an enormous amount of water today.
You just want to do it. Just hope it
It's
works
not
out
going to
for
be
you.
as bad as you think.
Okay.
Well, are we any closer to decision? It's a hard one. You got a couple of choices here as we look at it from the headquarters in Clearwater. If you're going south, you can go inside the Intercoastal Waterway or take your chances outside. Inside, it takes you an hour and 45 minutes to get there. Outside, probably less than an hour, but you take some chances.
Well, right, and right now, the winds are building, and what you risk more than anything is a mechanical fail. You beat yourself up, you beat your boat up. This is their biggest decision of the tournament.
Call us when she's sinking, because you'll be able to climb up on that beach and cut through, and we can pick you up in the Intercoastal there.
If he has to swim me to where we're fishing, we're getting there.
He will.
That's fine. The man from Atlantis. His feet are kind of webbed.
Well, we're about to see. Gonna be bashing and crashing, spoon chucking, jig bouncing. Getting ready to get it on right here.
Woo. And Tommy, I've said it before, these next two are mine. Ed Zayek and that guy right there, Jeff Page, right there. Somewhere through the day, he is gonna lose it.
I'm still in shock. I mean, it's like I'm gonna crash sooner or later, but we're just on such a roll right now, we can't do nothing wrong. Day one, Ed pulled us out with a big fish. Yesterday, I got him. And we're hoping there's one more sitting there waiting for us.
We like to call this a working man's bite today. And we're good at that. Very seldom do we ever have it where it's
2 or 3 casts
and you're done. Usually for us, we work it and work it and work it. And that's what we're good at.
Luckily, we found a little something to carry us into this dance.
And I'll cast till my arm falls off today. Get to it, bring it home.
One more day, one more round with the clown.
Hey, and history tells us if you're looking for a dark horse here in Clearwater, look for the out-of-state team from South Carolina, Ben Alderman, Ronnie Pitts.
We've been guarding a little hole for about a week, not even fishing it real hard until the last couple days when we've been burning it up. So hopefully there's a few left in there that we hadn't given the soil mount to, and we're gonna go in there and do the same thing. We're gonna chunk spoons and work the bottom. We're gonna work the top and the bottom, and it's about a 6-foot hole, and hopefully there'll be a couple in there to bite, a couple of right ones.
Mike Emerset, Tom Fragamini, the first time we've had these two in a final, and they have been the most consistent throughout the tournament.
Well, all right, man, let's go fishing. Let's just go fishing, that's it.
And Team Lake and Bay's Craig Johnson and John Oakes fishing their first redfish tournament ever.
This is the first Redfish Cup event that I've fished. Pretty exciting.
Pretty excited. You can't do anything to get this guy excited.
Get 2 good fish in the boat, I'll show you a little excitement.
All right.
You know, Scotty, it's the psychological game right here. We're gonna be fishing 150 feet from these guys right here in the Frog Tog. And they know we're gonna run the beach. They're gonna take the Intercoastal. It's an hour and 45 minutes on the Intercoastal. Could be as short as 40 minutes. I'm thinking more like an hour. That means we got 45 minutes to 30 minutes more of fishing. And realistically, it's just the psych of knowing that we're gonna be sitting there fishing before they get there. The boat breaks down for whatever reason, then they win, you know? So that's the whole key.
The final day, the decisions have been made. Do you run the offshore? Do you run the Intercoastal? Do you stay away from the crowds? Or you try to fight it out with everyone else who's out there on this Saturday? Do you go for schools? Do you go for single fish? Well, everyone's made their decisions, and we'll find out what happens on this final championship day when we return. You're watching the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup Series.
Right here, Buzz. Yeah. Shut up and fish.
It's time to rock, baby.
We are back on the water in Clearwater, Florida. Final day for this first stop of the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup Series of 2006. 5 teams left in it here, some of them running offshore, some of them running the intercoastal waterway. That's a decision they've had to make based on the weather conditions, which are changing today. Clouds obviously have moved in. The wind is swapping around to the south. Will the clouds affect their bite? Well, I ask you that, Mark.
Well, more than anything, we've got some guys that are in our top 5 that they were sight fishing all week, visibly finding fish, then casting to them. When you've got cloud cover, that really affects that style fishing.
All right, we got teams making gambles today, other teams sticking with what brung them. We'll see what pays off very shortly here.
And here's exactly what's going on here. Rick Murphy and Scott Guthrie have decided to run the outer coastal way. Very rough water, but this decision will enable them to have 45 more minutes than their competitors. Their competitors are in the green shade, and they will have no wake zones. Let's see right now if this decision will pay off. The one thing that you've got to make note of here, this is a big-time veteran call. Rick Murphy knows exactly what he's doing, totally messing with his competition's mind.
And one group is not going south. They're not following the herd. That's Team Alderman and Pitts, the boys from South Carolina. They got their reasons for going north. They've been doing something all week long that's not exactly fishing. They've been keeping their eye on their spot. They're headed for a place just north of a place called Anclote Key. They're going to be protected from that south wind, so there's really no telling what might be going on with them and crowds today.
We've been guarding a little hole. We've had it all to ourselves every day. Nobody messing with us, but today's Saturday. A lot of big tournaments in the area, and things could change if there are other boats in there trying to mess with us. But if we got it all to ourselves, these other fellas could be in trouble running a long way. We've had this place to ourselves all week with not another person in here. Now, as soon as we get here on game day, because it's a Saturday, we knew this might be happening. So might have to play the tango with some locals for a little while. Dang it! I'm not even gonna fish, I'm just gonna sit here. They're throwing live shrimp, so I'm not even gonna fish. I just want to get here, so I know if I move that way, he's gonna keep cutting off this hole. We need as much of this hole as we can get. He's hooking up. He's just gonna ruin our day if he keeps wearing them out. Catching little dink trout. Every trout he catches keeps him in there. He just caught another trout. He ain't going anywhere. There he is. All right, Ryan. Good work, good work, good work.
Oh, it came undone.
No.
Yep. Dang.
What? Ooh, 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 ooh. None of that now. None of that.
Brand new spoon.
It looked good, too.
Yeah, dog it.
Man, tough break for Alderman and Pitts, but it's the first shot of the day, so they got plenty more shots.
Definitely, Tommy, this is my team. I said at the top of the show, Jeff Page and Ed Zyke. And here's the irony here, okay? You ready?
All right.
Jeff Page is going to run down to an area. He is more familiar with this water than anybody else in the field. You know the reason why? He guides around this area. He knows more on this water than anybody else. And I'm going to ask you something. What makes this Jeff Page so special to you?
I don't know, they're all special. Another reason he likes this area, though, I'll tell you, is he's got a lot of undredged canals and not so many creeks emptying into this place. Very, very clear water. And up to today, when they got the clouds, these guys have been sight fishing for these redfish.
You might as well go to the RT slug, dude. That won't stay on. So I don't see nothing. Just letting you know that. Yesterday I saw everything. I don't see nothing. Zilch. Try and find that one ditch, man. Just feel for it. Another one on that corner. There he is. There he is. He'll measure, too. That's the one we're waiting for. Stay connected, Eddie. Is it even a redfish, Eddie? Say something, Eddie. Power pull down.
Look at the size of this trout, y'all.
Oh my God, it's a giant trout. Hey, Rick Kersey. There you go. There's one for Mr. Kersey. We're holding the redfish for later.
All right, Clearwater is being Clearwater. Tough, tough, tough so far. And what has happened to Guthrie and Murphy? These guys were supposed to beat everyone to the place they were going. We'll check on them when we get back.
The Oh Boy, Oberto Redfish Cup, presented by Frog Talks, is brought to you by Singular, now the new AT&T. And by the St. Petersburg Clearwater Area Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Hey, you're watching the best saltwater anglers in the world for competitive red fishing, the Oh Boy, Oberto Redfish Cup, the 2006 season starting right here in Clearwater, Florida. We're down to the third and final day of competition. And on this third day, our field has been taken down to 5 finalists. Okay, let's take a look at the leaderboard. There's something about this leaderboard that's a little disappointing.
Yeah, it's a real nail biter today.
I would say so. There are no fish.
This is a fishing show.
No keepers yet on the leaderboard. Well, still a contest. Everyone's still at 0. So we're standing there. We're still looking for our team of Scott Guthrie and Rick Murphy. They were going to make the tough run.
Well, we took the beach. It was a big gamble. All the other boats decided to go up the intercoastal, which is an hour and 45 minutes down to here. And we just did it in about 40 minutes. So if we're lucky, we'll have an hour of fishing before the Frog Talk teams get here.
All right, still looking for that first score to go up on the leaderboard. Let's go back to our boys from South Carolina, Ben Alderman and Ronnie Pitts, and they might as well be in a different state. You saw the weather down south. Up north, protected by that key, that island out there. They got the shorts on, the blue skies
They're
above.
looking good.
A different deal for them.
They really are.
Good work. Please stay connected, fish. How about stay connected for us?
I might jump out if it comes off.
I think
You might just leave me
I
here.
might push you out. But he's not going anywhere. Just keep that right to the left. You're doing good. You're doing good. Doing good.
Here he comes. I'm going back. Gotta go back right.
Here he comes. 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 Get him to me. God, we need it longer than that. He's hooked good now. Lord, measure. Please measure. Please measure.
Son.
Please measure for us, fish. He looks just right.
It looks about right on the money.
He looks about right on the money. Let's make sure. Oh, I think he's.
Oh, he's in there.
I think he's in there.
Oh, man, look at that. Right on the nose.
Look at that fish. Look at that fish right there. Oh, yes, sir.
Put it right here. Fill it the live one. Yeah, baby.
That's my boy.
Here,
right
put it
there.
right here. While you fill it up.
2 of those and it's all over.
There you go.
1 more of these right here. 1 more of these. 1 more of those. 1 more like that. That's what it's all about. Catching 2 just like that.
That's for all the homeboys back in South Carolina, baby.
How about that 26 7/8? That fish is 7.5 pounds. I guarantee it.
Well, they say good things happen to those who wait. We've waited long enough.
Well, we have, Tommy.
We finally got one up on the board. We got our tournament going here. Back to Scott Guthrie and Rick Murphy.
Oh.
They've gotten where they're going, but check it out. We got the other team right there.
Well, what ends up happening there is, you know what? It was a great plan. It was a great idea. It just didn't work, Tom.
No, it didn't. Tom
didn't work at
Fragamini,
all.
Mike Emersek are there as well, so
Yes.
these guys are going to have to start ham and egging it here and making something happen. Power pole's down. They're just going to pitch it out there and let it sit. Is that the plan?
Come on.
Get him, Mikey. Good job, buddy.
Come on.
Good job. Nice work, buddy. Don't squander them. Keep it good. Steve, come on. You're killing me, brother. You're killing me.
I can't believe that.
You win some and you lose some. We lost that battle.
That's why they call it fishing.
We lost that battle.
Who wants to be the last team with a goose egg here?
Yeah,
Especially when you can see the other team across the way.
That's a bad cove to be in right now
that's
in
not a good
Clearwater,
cove.
Florida. I will tell you, though, I've talked about this today, the team of Page and Zayek. This is the time of day where Jeffrey Page, well, he'll turn into like a mini Jack Bauer, Tommy, okay? He's a spider monkey, and you never know when he'll strike.
Trying to think where else we'd go. This tide ain't coming in or something, Ed, or it's coming, or I don't know what, but it ain't like yesterday. Yesterday, it was sunny, but the tide was just roaring in. You could look down an edge and mullet just be coming at you with the tide. Today, it looks entirely different. It's all gloomy looking, and the tide ain't moving. Just slack looking. Like I guess all the water came in overnight and it's not just sitting there. A day like this is what separates them. Men from the boys, because it's a straight up struggle. There he is. I'm not saying nothing.
Stick us.
You just stay connected. Is it, Mr. Red?
I ain't saying nothing, buddy.
Don't.
Whew, he ain't much, but
He's one.
he's one, baby.
Oh yeah, 19. He put his nose to the wall with pinch, 19.
You never know what that 19-inch fish might be worth.
Yeah, but need one more at least. Exude RT slug. Golden brim color. Exude dark, golden brim color. When the water's dark, overcast, we like a dark bait.
All right, we got a race now. That's good. Two teams with the fish in the box. You said it would be tough. Here in Clearwater, it certainly proved to be very tough. And now, with the wind swapping around coming out of the south, now we got the cloud cover coming over. We hear the guys talking about changing baits to match up with these conditions. What do you think about that?
Well, you hear Jeff Page say, I'm going to use a dark bait because the skies are getting dark. He's throwing a little slug like this right here. Do I believe that? I don't know. I've heard that same adage since I was a little kid, because you can go to our leaders right now and see that they're throwing a bright, shiny spoon. In the long run, what I think it comes down to is having confidence in what you're throwing, and more than that, making sure that your baits mimic what the redfish are eating. And in the final turn is throwing things that you're confident in.
Yeah, especially so when the fish are this jumpy like they are in Florida on the West Coast.
Absolutely. You're going to throw something that got you to the final day. If the first 2 days you were using one bait, more than likely you're going to stick with your guns and stay with that presentation.
So confidence is something that's transmitted down the line some way.
I would say so.
All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Finally, some numbers we can get behind here. Take a look at the leaderboard now. Alderman and Pitts put that good fish up there, and now we've got Page and Zayek up on the board. We got ourselves a race right now in this first stop of the year for the Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup. We got to come back. We got to get some fish catching going on. There's a special kind of adrenaline that kicks in at the end of the day. You'll see what we mean when we get back here to the waters of Clearwater, Florida.
It's a red! It's a red! Hulkamania, brother! What you gonna do when the Hulkster gives you a rat red?
Wow.
The Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup, first event of the 2006 season. We're in Clearwater, Florida. It's the final day, day 3 of competition. We're down to 5 teams who started from 0. All of them had their weight zeroed on this final day, and for the longest time, those weights stayed at 0. We finally got 2 teams on the board. That's Ben Alderman and Ronnie Pitts of South Carolina, and now Jeff Page and Ed Zayek. We're headed into the final minutes of fishing. A lot of drama out there. 3 teams still looking to get one up on the board. We go now to Tom Fragamini and Mike Imrasek. First time in the finals for this team.
We're fishing instinctively now.
Have you seen a fish yet?
No, physically, no.
ID'd one.
No, have I ID'd one? No. Have you?
Nope.
Okay. Get him, Mikey. Good job, buddy. That's one in the boat.
Gotta measure him. $18 3/4, dude.
Put him in the well. Put him in the well.
They are on the board, Tom Fragamini and Mike Imrasek, who grew up fishing, wade fishing in this area, this Fort DeSoto area, basically on the passage into Tampa Bay. Finally got one on the board. And now these two guys, Scott Guthrie and Rick Murphy. Sometimes the despair brings out the best in these guys.
We're running out of juice in the trolling motor.
just nice being out on the water, you know, it really is. Got everybody out, kayakers, jet skis, some recreational guys here. Got a couple guys doing boat demos in here in the back bay, in the back country. Got Junior trying out the dad's boat and the small craft advisory. They should make it back with no problem. Got to mix everything back in here. It's about a 2-acre bay and there's about 75 people in here and about 20 boats.
Jet skiing would make it complete.
But when you have all this traffic like that, it can turn a bite on. Really, I mean, I've seen it happen that way.
Murphy, Guthrie shouldn't be discouraged by learning that even the Osprey has more keepers than they do on this final day. They can always get things going fast. Let's go back up north to Ben Alderman and Ronnie Pitts. They found this place a week ago. They found this place last Monday, but they've done precious little fishing.
This is one of the most amazing things about red fishing. These guys found this spot in practice on Monday, okay? The tournament did not start till Thursday. They caught 2 fish out of it, then played defense. They blocked the spot for 2 days, never made a cast.
All right, had to feel confident about the amount of fish that were in there.
What they need to feel confident about is the net they're using.
Now, wait a
right
minute,
there.
now come on.
Oh no.
What's the matter with that
That's
net?
something you see at the Walmart aquarium, Tommy, not a professional fishing tournament, okay?
Too long, too narrow is what you're kind of getting at here, right?
Call it
Maybe.
what you want.
Well, call it what you want. These guys now have 2 fish on the board. They've got the commanding lead right now in this tournament and the inside track to the $40,000 first prize. That puts the pressure on these other 4 teams. Yes. They're going to have to respond somehow. Now, these guys.
Especially these 2 right here. My guys, Jeff Page, Ed Zayek. They've got, here's what they're doing. They are taking a shot at desperation. They got 1 spot left, and guess where that spot's at?
It's near an entertainment figure, right?
The house of Hulk Hogan.
There he is. It's a red. It's a red. It's a red, boys. He's gonna measure.
Bring him to the net. Stay connected, Jeffrey.
Yeah! Hulkamania!
Come on, let's go.
Let's measure him. Measure him.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Look, over. That's it, right there, over. Keep pitching the ditch. Come on. Come on, keep pitching the ditch. I got a snook and a red. Hulkamania, brother. What you gonna do when the Hulkster gives you a rat red? Hey, how about it? Do we ever give up, brother?
Never quit.
We never do. Come on, there's a 5-pounder in there, Eddie. How much time we got? Give me a time.
We got 10 minutes to get to the weigh-in.
We're not moving. We're gonna work this green trough right here.
We're gonna leave them wondering what we're doing here hanging out. And everybody gets back and we're sitting here. They might get a little nervous.
Smart guys, Ben Alderman, Ronnie Pitts, don't take any chances. Anything could happen on the way back. Get yourself back safe. If you got 2 fish, you're in the driver's seat today. Who might be taking over the driver's seat? Jeff Page?
Yeah! Hulkamania!
Making things happen. We got more fishing when we return.
The Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup, presented by Frog Tongs, is powered by Oh Boy Oberto Beef Jerky. Taste what's real. It better be Oberto. And brought to you by Lowrance Electronics. We lead, we find, you win. And by Falcon Rods, made in the USA and proven by America's fishermen.
The Oh Boy Oberto Redfish Cup, final day of event number 1 here in Clearwater, Florida. $40,000 on the line. Team of the Year points, it's also important. 5 teams have been out there battling it out all day, and it has been tough to say the least. MC Keith Allen and the crowd are here in place. They're not going to wait any longer. We're ready to bring them up on stage and weigh these fish in.
We've zeroed weights today, and we're starting fresh. We're looking for 2 fish inside that slot up to 27 inches. Let's meet our number 1 qualifiers out of South Carolina, Alderman and Pitts in the mix.
Dan Alderman and Ronnie Pitts, like the rest of these 5 teams, they feel that they have underperformed today. You're about to see just how strong a solid 2-fish limit can be at this weigh-in.
For 2 fish on the scales, both of them inside the slot, we'll take away a half a pound for fish care penalties. 10.34 pounds for Alderman and Pitts, 10.34, and you're looking a little bit discouraged. The good news is right now you lead with 10.34. Take yourselves a seat right here on the Triton 22 SV.
Well, now it's time. Alderman and Pitts to take a seat. They can only sit and watch with 4 teams left to weigh in. Next to the stage, Tom Fragamini and John Imrisek. The Fort DeSoto area, not as kind to them today. The 1 fish, just over 2 pounds, and they are done. Next up, Craig Johnson, John Oakes, strong, solid the first 2 days, but everything came to a flying stop today. No fish to weigh in. So having a pair of keepers at this weigh-in starting to look a little bit better to our team from the Carolinas. Jeff Page and Ed Ziak, no lack of enthusiasm from this team, but the wind shift hurt them as well. A late change in location did provide one memorable bright spot.
It's a red! It's a red!
Stay connected, Jeffrey.
Yeah! Hulkamania!
Alderman and Pitts holding it down. Jeff Page and Ed Ziak hoping that they can shake things up. They need,
Just under 4.5 pounds down go Page and Ziak. So Ben Alderman, Ronnie Pitts have dodged any significant threats through the first 3 teams, and only 1 team left to go.
And here comes Captain Rick Murphy and Scott Guthrie. Let's reach into the bags and see how it's gonna go down. Hello, goose egg!
Yeah, baby! Yeah! Yeah! Thank you, man. How about it?
This is becoming one of my favorite places to fish, believe it or not. Today just made this one of my favorite places. I tell you, I want to come back to Clearwater. I don't want to go anywhere south. I don't want to go anywhere north. I want to come right here and stay in Clearwater.
Oh yeah, let's give it up for Alderman and Pitts. Everyone's happy that these guys won. Well, not everyone. The guys from Florida, not very happy at all. Just like it was last year, a team from out of state comes in and takes away the prize. First event of the year in Clearwater.
Pretty amazing that you've got 4 basically local Florida teams rising to the occasion and all of a sudden smacked down by a couple guys from South Carolina. Big victory. More than that, though, I'm excited. These guys could probably get a new net after this event.
You with the net. You give them a little slack there. They worked hard today, worked so hard to keep that fish going and all that. They earned their trophy today.
They did. And you know what? I try not to pick favorites, but man, Jeff Page mimicking Hulk Hogan. That's right. There they are up there. That was huge. When you do that on outdoor TV, you're money.
Okay.
You're money.
Talk about money. Let's talk about Team of the Year stats. Of course, the top of that list right now, well, it of course matches up with our results from this tournament. Alderman and Pitts from South Carolina. Remember, the championship at the end of the year coming up from North Carolina. These guys may have a leg up. We've got a lot of ground to cover before then.
One step closer to that sweet trophy right there.
All right,
Tommy.
yeah. The next step, we're going down not too much farther south on the west coast of Florida, possibly some more tough fishing.
Oh, man, look at that, right on the nose.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Strong in Clearwater, grabbing the title. Unbelievable.